My name is Macy Zong, and this is my language experience approach. The student that I chose to work with is Hmong American. She's 7 years old, so in first grade. Her native language is Hmong. She speaks both English and Hmong at home. She speaks English to her parents and her grandparents, the elders, and then English to her siblings. Um, She has always been surrounded by both languages, but she doesn't have a very good foundation in both languages. She cannot read or write in Hmong, but she can listen to it and speak it. She may not be able to speak it 100% fluently, or she may not know all the words, but she knows enough to be able to communicate. I have chosen to work with her because she has grown tremendously. I've worked with her from when she was very young to now that she's in first grade, and I was just very excited to see how much she has grown in her English speaking and listening skills. And I also wanted to see how well she was doing with her readings and writing skills. So the first thing that we did was made the Play-Doh. The experience that I chose to conduct with her was cooking, making your homemade glitter Play-Doh. So before we started making the Play-Doh, I asked her if she's ever made it before, and she said that she has seen it made and have done it a little bit, but not all by herself, not like us. Um, so we made the Play-Doh, and as we were making it, I gave her this sheet. It's an ingredients sheet, and it just tells her all the ingredients that she needs and what to put in. And this is just helpful for her so that she knows exactly what's expected and what to do since she was unfamiliar with how to make it. And then after the experience, we talked a little bit about it. Was it fun? Was it hard? Was it easy? And we created a sequence chart. And I think this chart, I chose to do this chart with her because I thought it would be helpful in recalling information and evoking memories about what happened. So in this first box here, she pretty much wrote down what the ingredients was and what was needed. She felt like that was very important because obviously in order to make good Play-Doh, you have to have all the ingredients. Next, she talked about kind of the problem that we ran into when we were making it. When we were making it, we found that it was getting too sticky and a little too wet. So we found that adding more flour helped with that. Next, she talked about her favorite part, which was adding the glitter into it. She loved that because obviously she loves glitter, and I knew that this would be a project that she would like. It's just specifically, I just chose this project specifically for her because I knew she liked Play-Doh and she's very artsy, very creative, and so I knew this is something that she would have a lot of fun with. And it's also because it's active um, and it has to do with your senses. I knew that it would be something that she would easily remember. And then finally, she just talked about what she experienced and how she said that she had a lot of fun with it. It was fun to play with. So there's that. Next, we created some sentences, and these pretty much are the transcriptions as to what she felt during her experience. We put them into sentences. So, unlike the sequence chart, she wrote more just bullets. Here, I helped her form some sentences. So she put, it was fun when we made Play-Doh with glitter. It was fun to play with. I like to pour the flour in when making Play-Doh. We can pour more flour when it is sticky. Making Play-Doh is very easy. And so these are just some sentences that she can actually incorporate and put into her book. Next, what we have here is her first draft. If you can see, the purple is what she wrote down, and these are kind of the pages that she thought would go well, or the sentences for those pages. And then we went back and read through it, and I helped her edit it with the green. Some of the problem that I found that she was having was capitalizing. So after writing a period, she would put a lowercase instead of a capital. So we fixed a little bit of that. We added in some commas, and during the experience we talked a lot about like first, next, finally. Those are just some keywords that I wanted her to know. Although these are easy words, when you're explaining and a how-to kind of text, it's important to have those words so that you know what is next and what goes next and what's the last step and what's the first step. So we talked a little bit about that. So for the extension activity, oh, I don't know if you can see that. We read a book on Epic. It's called Baking with Dad. And it's pretty much about a little girl who spends a day baking with her dad. And we don't know exactly what she's baking with her dad, but she's super excited and she's having a lot of fun. And she's talking all about these ingredients that she's adding in. And we find out at the end that she's baking a cake with her dad for a birthday party. And I chose this as an extension because I thought it would be nice to talk about other ways of baking or cooking or mixing things. And we talked a lot about what was similar to what we did when we were making Play-Doh and what wasn't similar. So the comprehension activity that I chose to do with her was to write in a couple sentences what her favorite part of the text was. And she wrote that her favorite part of the text was when the little girl and her dad was waiting for the cake to cook in the oven. It's talked about how they had to be patient. She wrote here that I like when they were patient because the word patient is a word that is a good word. There were a time when I cannot wait for the cake, and we talked a little bit about how she baked cake with her family during the holidays and how it was hard to wait when the cake was baking as well.